Could the Chicago Bears fire Luke Getsy and hire this man as the 2024 offensive coordinator? We'll explore that. A teammate of Justin Fields says that he is ready to go. Looks like he's ready to return this week against Detroit. And what does the offensive line depth chart look like if Nate Davis returns this week? I think there's an obvious answer, but I'm sure Matt Eberflus will complicate things. We dive into all of that and more here on today's show, and we're almost there. Oh, let's get to 79,000 subs. That doesn't rhyme. 5 away. You could be number 79,000. What are you waiting for? If you want daily Chicago Bears content, hit that sub button. Help us out. Let's get to 79,000 subs. Could the Bears hire Ken Dorsey, who just got fired from the Buffalo Bills, as their offensive coordinator next year, a potential Luke Getsy replacement? Now, obviously, a lot of things to consider here. Is Flus the head coach next year? If he is Getsy fired? We'll dive into all of that. But I found it very interesting that Buffalo decided to make this move here on a Tuesday, just after another debacle for the Bills on Monday Night Football. And I get it. Buffalo's 5-5. They're underachieving. They were going to make some sort of move at some point if this continued. But the offense has been good under Ken Dorsey since he's taken over for Brian Daboll. It's not like they're not scoring and they're not doing things. They're just not finishing drives all the time. And quite frankly, a big problem is they're just turning the football over too much. And that starts with Josh Allen. You look at the numbers last year, top 10 in every category, 30th in turnovers. This year, top 10 in every category, tied for 31st in turnovers. Like, they're just giving the football away way too much. And in this league, when you do that, that's a problem. Like, that is not something you can do and expect to sustain success if you are an offense in the NFL. And look, Ken Dorsey can't control Josh Allen putting the ball in harm's way. I mean, Josh Allen last night, pretend my mouse is a football. He's like, handoff. Oh, I'm just going to drop the ball, and it's going to go off my running back's shin and get picked up by a defender. Like, is that Ken Dorsey's fault? Like, I get it. Like, someone had to go. You're not going to trade Josh Allen or bench him or something like that. But I actually think Ken Dorsey is a pretty damn good offensive coordinator. I really, really do. I think he could be a guy that can run an offense in the NFL. And if I'm the Chicago Bears, like, forget, like, just try to take the Matt Eberflus side of it out of it at this point. Maybe a new coach comes in, needs an OC. Like, to me, Ken Dorsey is so obviously an upgrade over Luke Getsy. Like, that's not even a question. And look, I'll be honest. I think there's a scenario out there where Matt Eberflus returns next year, even though I don't want that to happen, especially if the defense keeps improving. In that outcome, I could see Luke Getsy being the scapegoat. And if he is, you're going to need a new offensive coordinator, and I think Ken Dorsey is a worthy name. Is he perfect? No. Have the Bills won enough the last couple of years? No, they probably have not. They've lost too many weird games, and again, someone was going to have to go. But the offense is still productive. It's Josh Allen turning the football over too much, and to be honest, that defense has regressed this year. That's the reality of Buffalo's situation right now. So I just think keep an eye on this name. This is obviously not someone you're going to hire here in week 11 of this season to try and save this year. But next year, if you decide to just change offensive coordinators, I think Ken Dorsey could be a name worth monitoring if you are the Bears. Now, would you hire Ken Dorsey as the 2024 OC? Type Y for yes, or you can type N for no. We'll see what time tells, but I certainly am intrigued by this one. Jaquan Brisker hopped on the radio today and talked about his quarterback, Justin Fields, and pretty much said, yeah, I think QB1's ready to go. Here's the direct quote on 670 The Score. He said, yeah, Justin, he looks good. He definitely looks good, so we're going to see where it goes, but I feel like Justin looks ready to go to me. Of course, Matt Eberflus on Monday, we just need more time. Well, how much time do you need? Because come Sunday, it's going to be 35 days since the injury. And look, I get it. It's a dislocated thumb on your throwing hand. When we heard early on, well, he may only miss a game or two, I was like, he's probably missing at least 2 or 3 games. Well, he's missed 4. Like, is he going to miss a 5th one? Like, get Fields on the goddamn football field. Like, unless there's just like some like clear and obvious, like, he just can't play. And, like, I get it. Throwing the football in practice isn't everything you got to do in a game, but he's been throwing the football with what appears to be no limitation for almost a week now. Like, he's got to go. Like, it's go time if you're Justin Fields. Like, you got 7 games left this year to prove you're the guy in Chicago. I don't know if he's not wanting to get back. I don't know if the Bears are holding him back. I don't know if it's a medical decision. That's what they said last week, that he medically has not been cleared. But at the same time, like, it's like there's got to be some urgency here, man. Like, if you want to be the guy in Chicago long term, like, you got to get on the football field. So hopefully that happens this week. I really, really think it needs to. Now, something that you need to do is get started with Factor. Factor Meals, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, will have food delivered straight to your door for 50% off when you use promo code BearsChat50 at factormeals.com/BearsChat50. Listen, the holidays are here. Sometimes it's hard to cook meals. You got to do your Christmas shopping. You do all that stuff. And you get home, you're tired at the end of the day. Just pop in a Factor meal. Healthy, delicious meals from Factor. You see some of the different options on your screen right now. You can skip the stress of meal prepping over the holidays with Factor. Choose from our 35-plus weekly flavor-packed, fresh, never frozen meals that support a healthy lifestyle, meet your meal preferences, all delivered straight to your door. And by the way, only takes you 2 minutes to get them ready because these meals have already been prepared by their professional chefs over at Factor. They've got calorie-conscious options as well that you can take advantage of with meals of less than 550 calories per serving. So here's what I want you to do. Head over to factormeals.com/BearsChat50. That is factormeals.com/BearsChat50. Use the code you see right on your screen, BearsChat50. It's going to get you 50% off with Factor. Go check them out today. Delicious, healthy meals delivered straight to your doorstep. It's only going to take you a couple of minutes to get your lunch and or dinner prepared. Okay, back to Justin Fields. You look at what he and Tyson Bagent have obviously done, this year. They've both gotten to play a decent amount now. I like what I saw from Bagent. There's some promise there. I think he's got traits you like out of a backup quarterback. But let's be real. He's not the long-term answer as your starter. At least we haven't seen enough to suggest that could be the case. Justin Fields, there's still a glimmer of hope he can be. And with 7 games to go, like, this is it, man. Like, this is it. You can't be wasting any more opportunities if you are the Bears. And to me, if I'm Ryan Poles, if I'm Flus, I don't know how much he's going to factor in here with the evaluating. I think he's on the hot seat potentially. But I'm looking at these next 5 weeks, these next 4 games, at Detroit, at Minnesota, bye week, Detroit at home, 3 divisional opponents, which, again, Matt Eberflus 0-8 in the division. And then at Cleveland, remember Justin Fields' first start in the NFL at Cleveland, disaster. Those 4 games are going to be tough. Like, that's a great opportunity to evaluate your quarterback that you're still unsure about. It's a brutal stretch. There's no doubt about it. But if he can play well, and potentially convince you that he is the guy, then, I mean, like, it's now. You can't miss any more games, man. Like, you got to play on Sunday. So hopefully he's able to do that. Now, Tyson Bagent hopped on some show, some podcast today and said that he has not been told if he'll be the starting quarterback against the Lions. I don't know what to read into that. Does that mean that Fields is starting? Does that mean that it's still up in the air? Who the hell knows? But we better have a concrete answer tomorrow from Matt Eberflus. That's all I'm going to say. I'm tired of the jumping around questions and dancing around answers. Competitive advantage. You're 3-7, bro. Like, just tell us if the guy's going to play quarterback or not. That would be lovely, Matt. So I really hope that we get that. 7 games left. How many more wins for the Bears this year? I mean, the next 4, you're underdogs. I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, you may only be favored against Arizona the rest of the way. So, I mean, can you get 3 more? Like 3 and 4, is that salvageable for Matt Eberflus? That's almost the worst case scenario, though, for me in terms of evaluating Flus separate from Fields. Like 6 and 11, like, is that enough to keep the guy around? Like, to me, that's pretty underwhelming. But we'll see what happens. What do you think? You guys think? How many more games is this team going to win? Let's talk about Nate Davis. Is he going to return? Matt Eberflus seemed to hint at that on his Monday presser. He doesn't give away much, as we just said, but here is something that he said when asking about Davis potentially returning and what the offensive line could look like. He said the combinations there are going to be a discussion that we have to have. Nate's a good player. Cody's a good player. Tevin's a good player. So it's a good problem to have. We'll look at it, put our best 5 out there, and we're going to put them out there for the Lions. There's no discussion Eberflus. If Nate Davis is healthy, Cody Whitehair's got to go to the bench. I like Cody Whitehair. He's had a nice career here, but there's a huge gap between what Tevin Jenkins, Nate Davis, and Cody Whitehair can do as blockers. Like, it's just not even a discussion at this point. Now, I think the discussion is, do you play Nate Davis or Tevin Jenkins at left guard, and who do you play at right? Because Tevin Jenkins has played both this year, both adequately well, but I like what I've seen from Tevin Jenkins next to Darnell Wright on the right side. That's two young Bulldogs that you can run behind. Like, I like that. I know Nate Davis has been primarily a right guard in the NFL, but to me, like, I would much rather keep Jenkins at right guard next to Darnell Wright, even if that means Nate Davis is 10% worse on the left side, which I don't see why he would be, but if he's slightly worse just for acclimating over there, like, I'm making that decision because I just like the Wright-Jenkins combo on the right side. And again, it's not a discussion. Cody Whitehair's got to go to the bench. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, when you're playing right now with the combination you currently have without Nate Davis, what's your weakness? Center and left guard. Lucas Patrick, Cody Whitehair. I get center's just going to be what it is the rest of the season. It's not going to be good. But you can get rid of one of those problems. That's Cody Whitehair. Like, I get publicly you want to call him a good player because he's been good for you. He's not a good player anymore. Like, it's okay. Like, he's a backup caliber player. And that's just what it is, and he's not going to be here next year. At least he shouldn't be. So that's what I would say. Now, will the Bears bench Cody Whitehair? What say you? Type B for bench, type S for start. Now, it's very possible in Davis's first game back, if that's this week, there's a bit of a rotation. We've seen that when Braxton came back to not play him 100% snaps that first game. We saw that with Tevin his first game. That's fine. If you want to play, Nate Davis 70% of snaps, Whitehair 30%, just to get Davis's feet under him, that's fine. But second game and beyond, like, you got to put Whitehair on the bench. So I'm benching Cody Whitehair. B for bench, S for start. BS is what we're going to get from Matt Eberflus. All right, that's going to do it for Chicago Bears now. We'll have a couple more videos tomorrow. Then we'll be back live on Thursday, so stay tuned for more Bears content. Again, you could be the 79,000th subscriber, so do not miss out. Hit that sub button. We'll see you soon. Bear down.